go. So today we're going to be learning about the Neutrality Acts of the 30s and the Lend-Lease Act, which I myself only really learned about a couple days ago, and it's going to be great. So, let's begin with some context. Way back in 1783, George Washington wanted his brand new, bright and shiny U.S. to stay out of foreign affairs. Foreign affairs like the upcoming French Revolution that was happening in France at the time, and other European fights. He thought that the U.S. needed to set itself up before it went and tried to help others, which makes sense. He actually thought this so much that most of his farewell speech references this baby idea of isolationism. Europe must be engaged in frequent controversies, the causes of which are essentially foreign to our concerns. Hence, therefore, it must be unwise in us to implicate ourselves by artificial ties in the ordinary vicissitudes of her politics, or in the ordinary combinations and collisions of her friendships or enmities. Flash forward to 1823, James Monroe, in his book also knows, is president now. He took it to the next step and made isolationism a real policy of the U.S. instead of just a reluctance to fight, where basically Monroe took Washington's idea and said, "Hey, don't mess with our land," and made the Monroe Doctrine. And pretty much everybody ignored it. Until eventually it got some foothold when Britain was like, well, fine. I didn't want Spain's colonies to be Spain's anymore anyway. Flash forward again to the 1920s. The Roaring Twenties. Hoo boy, you hotsy-totsy dewdroppers, don't take any wooden nickels, because that would not be the bee's knees. Anyways, the United States economy was booming because of World War I, and things like flappers, jazz, and the Prohibition became things. But most importantly, people started buying consumer goods like crazy. Radios, cars, vacuums, flying off the shelves. And also toilets. You hear that? That's the U.S. economy. The economy can't live off of bombs and tanks for forever. Now it's the 30s. The Great Depression is on. Pretty much everybody was broke, except for, those people who weren't. After a while, America bounced back the only way it knew how, to start selling war items again. A guy with a book and a funny mustache was starting to take over different parts of Europe, and Russia was kind of imploding. America, on the other hand, and thus the Neutrality Act of 1937 was born. On August 31st, 1937, Congress passed the first Neutrality Act prohibiting the export of arms, ammunition, and implements of war from the United States to foreign nations at war, and requiring arms manufacturers in the United States to apply for an export license. After the misconceptions of World War I and how awful the Great War had turned out to be, no one wanted to get back into another war. President Roosevelt didn't actually like this act all that much, because he wanted to help out. But the U.S. people and Congress were ardent on putting on the blinders. Quick thing about FDR, he really liked loopholes. So basically, what happened is that he blocked himself from doing the thing he really wanted to do, which was help out the Allies. But he didn't actually want to fight in the war. So, there was a loophole that FDR exploited the heck out of. The Neutrality Act of 1939. It allowed nations at war to buy all kinds of things from the U.S. So, Roosevelt could help Britain now, right? Wrong. There's a thing called the Johnson Act of 1934, which basically was like, hey, unless you pay us back the money you used in World War I, we're not gonna help you. So, Roosevelt again gave his good old buddy pal Winston Churchill about 50 carriers to use. As a gift, I guess. But to keep Congress and the people happy, Roosevelt had 2 British bases given to us too. So, it didn't seem like a total sham. In December of 1940, Churchill ran out of money. If it had happened in current day, it probably would have went something like this. After all that hubbub, what ended up happening is that Roosevelt, in 1941, March 11th, signed the Lend-Lease Agreement, which, simply put, was like, pay me back later. This, in turn, allowed Britain and a few other nations a chance to defeat the angry mustache model and likely help draw a conclusion to the war. The Neutrality Acts, in my personal opinion, were good at the time, but they really ended up being a big roadblock to fighting in the war, which we eventually ended up doing anyway. I mean, come on. When have we not stuck our thumb in other countries' business? I mean, we were already selling them weapons and stuff. It was like that one scene in The Wizard of Oz where, the wizard's hiding behind the curtain. I mean, eventually someone's gonna find out it's you. America. I mean, come on. The Lend-Lease Act was a good thing, whether or not it was for the reasons people really think they were for. At first glance, you think, oh, how nice of the U.S. to help Britain and give them money and supplies to help in the war and not expect payment back right away. You know, FDR's such a great person. Which might be true, the last part, but no, this was about fighting Nazi Germany indirectly until the American people were ready to fight, even if that meant more lives overseas. And that's pretty terrible for, the rest of Europe. That's good for us, right? And yep, that's about it. Thanks for watching. Bye.